Whoever is doing this does it with 100% effectiveness. And they've never made a mistake. Because if they had made a mistake, you or I would have heard about it. National Park Mysteries Case Files. In the United States National Park System alone, there are more than 84 million acres of preserved woods, deserts, mountains, and other wilderness. So, it's no surprise that in the past 100 years, there have been a number of cases of reported missing persons. But what's most disturbing is, these numbers are increasing at an alarming rate, and the circumstances behind these disappearances are beyond bizarre. Today we will discuss 10 of the strangest disappearances in our national parks. No. 10. Kyle Britton. 27-year-old Kyle Britton was last seen on August 20, 2019, as he was heading into Waipo'o Valley State Park for a hike. Hawaii County firefighters have been searching the area ever since. Prior to his disappearance, Kyle told his father that he was headed to Waipo'o for a day hike. The area Kyle was going to hike in as well hiked frequently by others. Kyle's cell phone last pinged around noon, August 30, 2019. His vehicle was parked at the trail's entrance, but his keys couldn't be found. His father, attorney Steve Britton, said his son is an experienced hiker. He's been hiking since he was 3, so this is not a new adventure for him. It rained on the day that Kyle disappeared, so his family was a possibility and gotten injured in the valley. They said there's also a very little cell service in the area, which would explain why his phone stopped pinging. Search teams have been looking for Kyle by land and air. They've also grown in size, having added helicopters, dogs, and rescuers. Kyle's father is offering a reward for any information that leads to resolution. As of December 2018, the search for Kyle is still active but limited, and there have been no leads. No. 9. Kiara Henry. 23-year-old Kiara Henry was reported July 26, 2019, after the vehicle she had rented in Maui was found abandoned in Waianapanapa State Park in Hana, Hawaii. Kiara was last seen on surveillance video July 21st at 2 p.m. departing Hertz Rent a Car alone, where she rented a car for just one night. It appears her intended destination was Waianapanapa State Park, a place she visited 2 days earlier on a tour and reportedly loved. The car's mileage indicates it was driven from the rental car agency to the park. While it could have stopped along the Hana Highway path, mileage shows it did not veer from the route. The same day Kiara rented the car, she attempted to make a hotel reservation in Kihei, starting the next day from July 22nd to 29th. And she also booked a flight home on July 29, 2019. By all accounts, it appears she planned on being in Honolulu just returning one night, to Kihei the next day, and then flying back to her home in San Diego. We've not been able to find a hotel or camping reservations in Hana for that night, although it is possible she planned to find one when she arrived, or maybe she planned to sleep in her car, stated Kiara's family on a Facebook post. Kiara's phone was last used on Wi-Fi at 11 a.m. the day she disappeared. Park officials tell us her car was noticed on July 23rd, and it was officially called in as on July 25th. It was towed back to the rental agency on July 26th. Kiara's credit card had been used almost since her trip began, both as a credit card and as an ATM which card, she used to take out small amounts every few days. Her small black backpack, car key, and rose gold iPhone have not been found. Her cell goes straight to voicemail and has not been used since the morning of her disappearance. Police and community search efforts in the Waianapanapa Park and surrounding areas have so far been unsuccessful. We would like to thank the Maui Search and Rescue members for their tenacious efforts in trying to locate Kiara, stated Kiara's family in Facebook post. Kiara's family announced that a $10,000 is being offered for information leading to her whereabouts. Despite ongoing searches, Kiara remains missing, and there have been no leads in her disappearance. No. 8. Daniel Reza. 35-year-old Daniel Reza disappeared on August 25, 2019. While hiking Mount Charleston in Nevada, also known as the Spring Mountains National Recreation Area. The information regarding Daniel's disappearance is limited, but here's what is known. Daniel was spotted over the week at various trails, but he had not returned to his car. When Daniel did not return to his car, search and rescue volunteers engaged in an active search to locate him. In addition to search and rescue, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police and the Air Force 34th Squadron, which is based at Ellis Air Force Base, along with several hikers and 4x4 drivers, also joined in the search for Daniel. We found out later that he had actually gone up to the visitor center and purchased quite a bit of food, a coat, gloves, and a couple of other items. That gave us hope that we bought some time, said Scott Hayes of Red Rock Search and Rescue. Among the items that Daniel purchased were the following: a blue lightweight nylon backpack and lead lantern with a blue shade top, and a blue and black base, black or dark gray Landway brand jacket with Spring Mountain and black embroidery, a khaki-colored boonie type hat with Spring Mountains embroidered on it, a rustic wooden hiking stick, several bottles of bottled water, First Straight and Kirkland brands. In addition, he purchased food and gloves. It should be noted that none of these items are during the searches for Daniel. In October 2019, search and rescue volunteers were put on standby. Volunteers would redeploy if new details came to light regarding Daniel's whereabouts. No. 7. John Clinton Walker. John Walker was 48 years old at the time of his disappearance. On November 11, 2014, police are asking for the public's locating help. A Mr. John C. Walker, who was last seen in Bellingham, Washington early in the morning on Thursday, November 13th. John is an avid hiker who was last seen by his landlord and roommate, leaving his home on November 11, 2014 at 6 a.m. John's vehicle, a white 1997 Chevrolet Lumina, was located on Britain Road near his home, where he would often leave his car to walk to a bus stop on Sunset Drive. He would frequently leave his vehicle to this bus near his home to take public transportation to reach hiking destinations. It is believed he went hiking that day in a remote, wooded area based on his interest in hiking and surveillance video showing him exiting a public transportation on a road leading to remote, wooded areas in the foothills of Mount Baker and into the Snoqualmie National Forest. At the time of his disappearance, John was wearing a black beanie and an orange vest. He may also have had a forest green backpack with him. He has blonde hair, long on the sides and balding at the top, and blue eyes. There is no search and rescue information currently regarding John's case. No. 6. Nicholas Hyatt. Pa. 22-year-old Nicholas, or Nick Hyatt Pa, was last seen on April 1, 2019. Nick's parents reported him missing to Appleton Police on April 1, 2019. At the time of his disappearance, his white German Shepherd named Samantha was with him. On April 18, 2019, 18 days after he disappeared, his black 2012 Ford Fusion was found along the 1.5 million acre Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest, near Highway 64 and Shadow Lake Road, west of Montana, Wisconsin in Oconto County. It looked like it had been there for some time. There was some snow on it, apparently from the snow that fell April 11th, said the Appleton Police in a Facebook post. A tarp and camping gear were found near Nick's vehicle, and his dog's unclasped collar was found a half mile. 3 deputies checked the immediate area until dark. Deputies returned with search dogs on April 20th and searched a wider area. Nick's parents describe him as follows. Hometown of Appleton, Wisconsin. Age 22, white male. 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. Normal build, brown eyes. Short brown hair, small ribbon-type tattoo on the inside of left wrist, likely wearing a green lettered "Get Your Gucci On" black hooded sweatshirt, American Eagle, blue jeans, and mustard-colored steel-toed work boots. Nick was accompanied by Samantha, his white German Shepherd. 65 pounds, brown eyes, spayed, not chipped. No. 5. Joseph Wilford Barrett. 42-year-old Joseph, or Joe Barrett, was last seen on his home video surveillance on July 12, 2019. He was shown on camera to be having a very heated discussion around 5:30 p.m. July 12th. The neighbors sent the cops over to his house for a welfare check at 8:30 p.m. and Joe was not there. At 2 a.m. July 13, 2019, police pinged his phone around O'Hara National Forest in Montgomery County, North Carolina. Around the same time, cops were able to get Joe on the phone, and he said he was okay, and that his car was having some trouble, and that he was waiting for a friend to take him home. At some point, he stopped responding to text messages from his friends. Early morning on July 14th at around 4 a.m., police found his car off the road between the airport and a 24-hour store. Joe's 2012 dark blue Buick Enclave had gone off the road down a very steep hill and had been abandoned at the scene. Joe's accident was reported to police, and they arrived at the scene within 15 minutes, but Joe was nowhere to be found. Inside the car, he left his wallet, which contained all his credit and driver's license. He also left his cell phone, $453 in cash, and the car keys were still in the ignition. Police were able to tell by the GPS that Joe went into Spencer, Virginia, then went west, and it appeared like he was driving aimlessly, turning down road just to turn around again and so forth, then eventually started going east. For some reason, they have surveillance video of him in Virginia, but the police are not disclosing as to what is on the surveillance. Authorities sent out search and rescue, but a detailed record of what took place is not available. As of December 2019, Joe remains missing, and there's not been any updates on his case. No. For Jason Lee Lovelady. Jason Lovelady was 38 years old at the time of his disappearance on October 5, 2013. Jason went missing while picking pine cones with his mother and stepfather near Baker Lake on Forest Service Road 12 on the Elbow Lake trailhead in the Mount Baker, Snoqualmie National Forest. He went on ahead of his parents and was not seen again. He had a 3-gallon plastic white bucket with him, was wearing a red and black flannel shirt, light green shorts, and brown ankle-high work boots. An extensive search of the area turned up no sign of him or his bucket. The Whatcom County Sheriff's Office is handling the investigation, said that no foul play is suspected, but his disappearance is considered suspicious. A search and rescue operation, using helicopters and volunteers, failed to locate Jason Lovelady after he was last seen off Forest Service Road near One Lake Creek, just north of the Whatcom-Skagit County border, but he remains missing. No. 3. Nate Ashby. 22-year-old Nate Ashby was last seen on July 31, 2019, in Warrenton, Missouri. Nate and his white 1994 Chevy Silverado Extended are both missing, and there have been no sightings of Nate or his pickup truck since the morning he left home. Even though Nate's disappearance is not near national park or forest, I wanted to include his case within this episode. It's very rare to have both a person and their vehicle go missing, and considering this is in the area where others have gone missing and it's also surrounded by woods, it made sense to add it. With that said, there have been a number of searches for Nate, but no clues have surfaced and Nate remains missing. No. To Darren Kirk? At the time of his disappearance, Darren Kirk was 31 years old. He left home on December 3, 2014, to hike in the Mount Hood National Forest, with plans to return December 6th. However, on this occasion, he didn't leave family members with any details. Darren's sister filed a missing person report, but the search was delayed until December because search and rescue crews could not be dispatched until his vehicle was located to establish the starting point. His vehicle was found in the parking lot at Frog Lake Campground off US 26 by a family member. Was at that point that the search focused on the heavily wooded areas nearby. Police were able to ping his cell phone and locate it east of Frog Lake, heading in a southwesterly direction. That route would have brought him from Clackamas County into Wasco County, so jurisdiction for the search over switched to the Wasco County Sheriff's Office. Searches included Pacific Northwest Search and Rescue, Mountain Wave Emergency Communications, Clackamas County Sheriff's Search and Rescue, Multnomah County Search and Rescue, Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, Lake County Search and Rescue, Wallowa County Sheriff's Search and Rescue, Clatsop County Sheriff's Office, the Salvation Army Trauma Intervention Program, and businesses and government Camp Zigzag, Welch's and Sandy Plus, Bud's Towing of Oregon City, and the Milwaukee Presbyterian Church. Despite the search efforts, no trace of Darren has been found. It was strange that his cell phone was to the southwest of Frog Lake, in the direction of Clear Lake. But search efforts seem focused on the area to the northeast, in the area of Twin Lakes, unless the media misreported the location. To this day, Brian and Annette Kirk and siblings keep his memory alive at the Facebook in loving memory of Gary Kirk. No. 1. Melvin Natal. Melvin Natal was 61 at the time of his disappearance. On September 6, 2009. He was last seen bow hunting with 2 friends in the Elk Mountain area in the Santa Fe National Forest near Pecos, New Mexico. He took a .40 for special revolver and a camouflage print Martin with black and white zebra-striped arrows with him. At 4:30 p.m. Mel left the campsite, telling his friends he would not travel and would be back by nightfall, but he never returned and was never seen or heard from again. He left his 2001 Jeep Cherokee near the campsite with most of his gear locked inside, including his backpack, cell phone, and GPS unit. He normally carried the GPS with him to keep from getting lost. On Wednesday, September 9, 2009, a snowstorm moved into the Pecos area and the search was called off and then restarted the next day. Heat-sensing equipped helicopters were never used because the Santa Fe Police Department claimed that none were available. At the time of the search, Mel's footprints were found by search during the initial stages of the search, but the prints led 50 to 100 yards away down a trail after this point. The sniffer dogs could find no trace of a scent. During a subsequent search that was performed on September 13, 2009, which included members of his family, the scent was found by police dogs along the Pecos River but was quickly lost, just like the initial search. So there are 10 of the strangest national park disappearances. As we continue this series, I'll keep you updated on these cases. If updates become available, take care of yourself and each other. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.